You're watching Revolution 21 and it's great to be here.
It's great to be back at Revolution 21.
Welcome to Sports Central. We're still at Revolution 21, but this week we're focusing on the endurance racing in both the men and the women. But before we do anything, let's take a look at what we saw last week.
Crampton now, he's going to drop in on Ross Edgar. Ross Edgar's going to try and hang him high. Ross Edgar, look at that, throws him a little switch. Matthew Crampton of Science in Sport now. It's turn 3, slingshot all the way to the line. Matthew Crampton makes it look easy. Here comes Ross Edgar from the back, but it's Matthew Crampton. Once again, there is no stopping this man at the moment. Matthew Crampton, he takes the sprint. He takes the Kieran for the Science in Sport team, and he is on fire.
Some fantastic racing from the youngsters, and we got to welcome back several of our Olympic stars. Now, staying on the subject of Olympic stars, we've got even more on today's show. Now, I'm joined with Martin McCrossan, who's going to tell us what and who we'll be seeing. Martin, let's start with the endurance men. Stuart O'Grady, who's racing at the Manchester Revolution for the first time.
Claire, Stuart O'Grady, he's one of the biggest names in world cycling. Like most of the Aussies, he's been an Olympic champion, he's been a world champion. He's won the Paris-Roubaix Classic, which is the toughest single-day race in the world. And he's here. He's raced the Revolution in Australia. They still now have a series out there. But this is the first time that we've seen him here in Manchester. And you know Stuart quite well, don't you?
I do. I raced in his team in Adelaide, Team Stuart O'Grady. Went out over there and trained with him and several Australian Institute guys. It was hard, but a good experience.
Well, I had the opportunity to catch up with Stuart, and I found out just what he thought of Claire as a rider as well.
I'm here with one of the stars of tonight's Revolution, with Stuart O'Grady. Stuart, it's not your first time racing in Manchester, but what's your first impression of Revolution?
So far, the atmosphere is looking great, and yeah, looking forward to it.
We believe that you've raced with one of my co-presenter here, Claire Dixon. What are your memories of Claire as a bike rider?
Yeah, I did a few training rides with Claire. She came down to Australia, and she was pretty good. She was climbing better than me, from what I remember. But that's not too hard either.
Well, good luck for tonight, and thanks for taking the time to talk to us.
Cheers. Thank you.
Well, that's what Stuart O'Grady thought of Claire as a rider. She was pretty handy, and you actually raced with Nicole Cook as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I did in Italy, and she's a great friend of mine. Anyway, enough about me. Let's talk about the other Australians that we've got on the track today.
Well, we have Matthew Goss, stage winner in the Tour of Britain this year, but apparently he's gone missing in action, so we're not sure if we're going to see him. Brad McGee, his career, Olympic champion, world champion, like we said, like a lot of the Australians. He's won the leaders' jerseys in the Tour de France, the Tour of Italy and the Tour of Spain, so he's one of the greatest Australian cyclists ever. And he's decided to retire, and he's doing it here in Manchester.
Well, I think that's why Stewie might be here tonight, you know. Now, we're delighted that Brad McGee has chosen to hang up his bike on the Manchester Velodrome, but the question I want to know is why Manchester and not Australia? There's only one person who can answer that.
I'm Australian, proud Aussie, but I don't live there. I haven't been there for years. I go back every Christmas sometimes. My kids are in school in Monaco, and our life really is here in Europe. And for that reason, I just don't have the chance to race in Australia. But, really, my career is international, and some of my most treasured moments have been in this velodrome itself.
Now, throughout the show, we'll be seeing Manchester give Bradley a fond farewell. We wish Bradley all the best in his retirement. Now, Martin, quickly, before we move on to the elite women, who else have we got in the men?
Well, we've got the British Olympic champions, Ed Clancy and Geraint Thomas, gold medals in the team pursuit. They're racing here. Chris Newton, bronze medal in the Olympics and a gold recently in the points race at the World Cup. And he is a real star, Chris Newton, and a real favourite. For the youngsters, Johnny Bellis now stepping up to the CSC Saxo Bank team of Stuart O'Grady, so he's going up to the highest level. And one of our favourites here at Revolution, we've been tipping him for years, Ben Swift. And he is now going to be part of the Katusha team, which is the Russian global cycling project. It's kind of like the Chelsea team of world cycling. So we really have got some exciting racing. We've got my favourite, the 1 kilometre Madison time trial, and finishing with a 20-kilometre points race.
So we've got some of the favourite races and an awesome field. What have we got for the women?
In the women's field, we've got endurance racing for the women at every round of Revolution this winter, and that's a first. We've got some great riders, Emma Trott, Katie Fernie-Howe, both former future stars now racing at elite level. And we may also see Nicole Cook in action this winter as well.
We will on the 6th of December, so put that one in your diary.
I think it just shows, in terms of women's racing in Great Britain now, the strength in depth. We have so many riders coming through. At the recent World Cup, the women won every single gold medal, and I think that really bodes well for the Olympics in 2012.
Yes, the women, they've come a long way, but I think this is only the beginning.
I do indeed.
Well, we've heard all about the event. We know who's here. The atmosphere is building up, so let's get to the action.
The elite women 10-kilometre points race, 40 laps of the track, sprints every 10 laps, 5, 3, 2 and 1 points awarded to the first 4 riders across the line. She gets the whistle this time for the first sprint. Big effort now by Emma Trott. Look at the turn of speed. Corinne Hall trying to get on terms. They might just pull her back. Corinne Hall, big effort now by her. Jess Allen and Lucy Martin trying to get on terms. Emma Trott but holding on at the moment. Emma Trott, has she done enough to hold on for the points? It doesn't look like she did. They get the whistle this time. Casey Manderfield of the USA comes over the top. She's chased by Danny King of I-Team Nova. Casey Manderfield, 1 lap of the track is what lies between her and the maximum points this time. Casey Manderfield, good attack by her, holds it all the way to the line. Manderfield holds on as over the top comes Corinne Hall of Team Corridori. Corinne Hall, she pulled off the track early with a mechanical, but Corinne Hall not quite got the legs this time. 3 Great Britain riders, 4 company. Looks like the style of number 53, Hannah Mayo. 2 laps to go now. Is Alex Greenfield riding to a points race victory. Good effort by Jess Allen to get on terms with her. Casey Manderfield trying to chase it down. She's got Helen Clayton, Emma Trott, 4 company, still the 2 British riders out in front as they get the bell this time. Big effort on the front by Jess Allen. She's leading her teammate to glory. Alex Greenfield swings underneath. She's going to take the maximum points this time, and that will hand her the victory in the women's 10-kilometre points race. Alex Greenfield leads it round. Great teamwork by her and Jess Allen as she crosses the line, takes maximum points for the victory in the points race.
Now this is your first Revolution as an elite rider, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you've got to win.
Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. I just thought, like, it's elite women, but a lot of these girls I've raced with for the last few years, they're all pretty much my age, so I knew, like, I was at the level sort of thing. I was capable of winning.
Well, I think you're going to be the female version of the Stephen Burke.
Yeah, well, obviously I wouldn't say no to that, you know, bronze medal in the Olympics, so we'll have to see what happens.
The elite women line up for the 8-kilometre scratch race, 32 laps of the track. 3 laps to go, and Great Britain now on the front. Who's their chosen sprinter? Who are they going to lead out? Jess Allen on the front, and it's Alex Greenfield slotted in on her wheel with Danny King of I-Team Nova in 3rd place. Casey Manderfield of the USA in 4th. Great Britain look like they're going to lead out. Alex Greenfield once again. Greenfield just sweeping the track in front of the rest of the field. Allen now powers down. Danny King looking at the wheel of Alex Greenfield. Casey Manderfield now comes over the top for Great Britain. Lucy Martin also finding to get on terms. Oh, the Great Britain lead outs come to nothing. Casey Manderfield hits the front now. Danny King of I-Team Nova and Becky Jones now trying to get on terms with the American Manderfield. Becky Jones bumps it, but Becky Jones comes over the top. Can Danny King slot onto the wheel? Becky Jones comes over the top of the American rider, and she comes through. What a fantastic final lap for Becky Jones to take victory in the endurance women's scratch race.
Now you rode a very sensible race, moving only when you had to.
Well, I just sat in most of the way because I've been off with glandular fever this year, and I wasn't really expecting to be there at the end because I knew the endurance girls were going to make it harder for me. but I was there with about 5 laps to go, and the pace wasn't too high, so I sort of knew if there was 2 laps to go and I was there in the top 5, I could get through because I'm a sprinter.
So you were quite confident?
Yeah, I was quite confident when there was 2 laps to go that I could get past.
So what do you think you're getting from the Revolutions?
Well, it's just fitness training really for me because I was off with glandular fever, like I said. So just doing it as a bit of fun and trying to get my fitness back to normal.
The elite women Devil Scratch, 20 laps of the track. The first 10 laps is what we call a Devil Take the Hindmost, and the second 10 laps is a scratch race. Devil Take the Hindmost basically means the last rider across the line each time is eliminated from the race. As we say, the Devil takes the last rider in the race. 10 laps to go. We're now in the scratch race, so the first rider across the line will be the winner. No more eliminations. 9 laps to go. Sarah Reynolds still on the front. These riders now looking tired. Alex Greenfield, Sarah Reynolds and Casey Manderfeld. Good effort now by Manderfeld to close that gap. Greenfield looks back, swings down, so 2 becomes 3. And behind, Lucy Martin takes up the chase for Great Britain with Danny King and Becky Jones on her wheel. And it looks like she's going to get up to the 3 leaders. And it's all back together with 2 laps to go. This is going to play into the hands of a rider like Becky Jones. She looks like a very, very good sprinter. Corinne Hall now hits the front. Clayton of CC Gyro. Manderfeld now is going to hit the front. Casey Manderfeld. Does she have the power to hold them off for the 1 lap? Manderfield now, 1 lap to go. She gets the bell. Manderfield, she's got Lucy Martin on her wheel. Becky James. Becky Jones now comes over the top. Big power now. Manderfield trying to hold it at the bottom of the tap. Becky Jones now. Good effort now. And she comes over the top. Good victory by number 70.
What a great evening of racing for you.
Yeah, it's been unbelievable really. I wasn't expecting that at all. Just gave it my best shot again, sat in, and I timed it well at the end really.
Now I hear that you don't like the Devil that much.
No, my Devil's the weirdest race. I've never done well, I've never won it, never come top 3. No, it's just because I think it was a scratch race at the end, and winning the scratch race before gave me confidence.
That's all for part 1, but join me after the break as we go to the men's endurance racing. A quartet of road pros take on several of our Olympic track stars. Should be fun. See you then. So welcome back. If you're just joining us, we're at the Manchester Velodrome for the Revolution, and we're going to be at every event of the series. Now in part 1, we were seeing the elite endurance women, well now we're about to go to the men. One of the highlights of the men's programme was the 20-kilometre points race. Everybody was watching recent World Cup winner Chris Newton. Could the classy rider once again take control of a quality field, including some of the best riders in the world?
The wily old Australian drops onto the wheel of Luke Rowe. He's the closest rider to him, but at the front, it's a sprint for Stephen Burke from Guy East, but it's a victory in the points race for Chris Newton.
Now, Chris, I think you're becoming a good points racer.
Yeah, you would think so. I've won a few now, so yeah, it was good out there.
Now, just take us through the race.
I kind of knew everyone was be a bit tired, and I was myself, so I didn't bother contesting the first sprint and just followed the wheels, and then you could see the attacks going, and I could just roll onto them then, and it just kind of played into my hands then. Won a couple of sprints, got a good lead, so I could rest for one and then go for the next 2 really.
Johnny McAvoy and Dan McClade. Dan McClade, the Future Stars winner a year ago. The 200% me riders in 6th and 7th at the moment. But Ed Clancy on the front, followed by Stephen Berg. Here comes Geraint Thomas over the top. Johnny McAvoy trying to get on terms. Geraint Thomas showing a clean pair of wheels to everyone else at the moment. The Barlow World Rider, the World Team Pursuit Champion, Geraint Thomas takes the victory. The Welshman and World Champion and Olympic champion Geraint Thomas, and a well-deserved victory.
Now the motorbike leaves the track with 6 laps to go. When's the best time to move?
Well, basically the motorbikes go so fast you need to be near the front all the time. So, and then yeah, it's like 6 laps to go. So it's just a short distance, and when the speed's already up there, it's really hard to move up. So positioning's vital, and yeah, it seemed to work out all right for me tonight.
2 laps to go this time. Brad McGee of CSC and Saxo Bank, the Australian, swings up, hangs over to East. Only 2 laps remaining, 500 metres. What do the 200% me riders have? Can they work together? And over the top, Brad McGee, a big attack by the Aussie. He's going to go through the bell. On the front, Brad McGee makes his effort. Ed Clancy trying to chase him down. Brad McGee, he shows a clean pair of wheels to the rest of the group. Ed Clancy finding to get on terms, as is Alex Dowser, but it's not going to be enough. Brad McGee signs off in incredible style. An attack with 1 lap to go. He almost took Ed Clancy out as he swung up the banking. But Brad McGee, in his final race here at Revolution, takes the victory in the scratch race.
You had to win one, didn't you?
I didn't know how. I didn't expect it, to be honest, but I thought I've got to at least have a crack. And I thought, given the professionalism of the professional guys, if I got away, then they would be less in tune to really hammering me back. But a lot of young guys in there are pretty keen to race this thing hard, and that was good. A few more laps I wouldn't have made it though, I'm sure.
Now we've been trying to get you over here for some time now, and you've said yes for tonight, but I think there's more of a reason than just the racing.
Yeah, true. I'm in the middle of the off-season, so normally I don't go around doing track races, but the opportunity arose, but also mainly for Brad McGee. He's been a friend and a teammate for the last few years, and I raced with him since I was 15, so yeah, it's nice to be here for his last night.
I've had a ball, really. People say, oh, you give up so much to be a professional athlete, but I've gained everything. I've given up nothing. It's been a wonderful ride, and it all starts with a good family background and friends and people that really understand the job at hand, and then the ability to enjoy it when the moments arrive. Success in the Tour de France, the Olympic Games, stuff like that. You really know how to enjoy the moment when given. I think that's what drives us on most of the time, is to have a good season so you can have a great party in the off-season. And it's not worth it unless you've had some success through the year. But it's all part of it, And like I said, it's been a great ride. It's been wonderful.
And how would Bradley like to be remembered?
Remembered? Like any other Aussie, really. Just a guy that'll have a crack at anything. And unfortunately, basically anything I had a go at, I had some sort of success. Enjoyed the full length of it, whether it was time trialling or track racing or sprinting, anything. Racing the Giro d'Italia for 3 weeks, I just had to have a go. And for that reason, I've enjoyed the fruits of this sport, everything it's got to offer. And I'm very, very appreciative of that.
We join the team Madison with Guy East and Austin Carroll leading with a time of 59.613 seconds.
Yeah, so what we said, here is the hand sling from Newton to Hales. Big effort now. Rob Hales pushes off the hand of Chris Newton, and they are faster at the moment. They've dropped back slightly. Rob Hales comes around, he gets the bell this time. He's going to have to raise his game on the final lap if he's going to take the lead away from the Americans. Rob Hales, and they are quicker. Rob Hales and Chris Newton are quicker, but how much faster as they come towards the line? They come up 58.399 for Rob Hales and Chris Newton. What a fantastic final 2 laps there. Stephen Burke has started 13.201 opening lap for Stephen Burke. Ed Clancy hangs high, looks for his teammate. He's going to drop down. Stephen Burke still looking very, very smooth. Grabs the centre of the bars, throws Ed Clancy in. Now, Rob Hales finished very, very quick. Can Ed Clancy do the same? Can they hold that lead? He's going to get the bell this time. They come through. and they are so much faster. 41.494. What sort of ride does Ed Clancy have in the legs? He is motoring around this Manchester track. Ed Clancy comes up to the line. 55.048. They didn't quite get the record, but they were close. And can the final pair take that one? O'Grady reaches back. McGee throws him in now. What has Stuart O'Grady got? Big Stewie now accelerates down the back straight. He's really going to have to kick it if he's going to bring this one home for the Aussies. O'Grady now, a winner of the Paris-Roubaix Classic. One of the best riders that Australia has ever produced. Both of these guys are. He comes up towards the line and he stops the clock at 1 minute and 1:56. It's not enough, and the victory goes to Stephen Burke and Ed Clancy with the second fastest time ever.
Fantastic race, so close to the record.
Yeah, I think that's the fastest an endurance rider's gone over that distance, and we weren't too far away from the sprinter's record, but over such a short distance it's hard to compete with the likes of Chris Hoy and Arnaud Toulon who set the record, but maybe next time. I'm sure we can go faster.
Now you showed some great teamwork, but what is the secret to your success?
Just the training that we do specific for the team pursuit, that's helped a lot, and it's generated our power, and it's just ideal for this event, because again I think like the Madison Kilo is a bit of a crossover event between sprint and endurance, so it's worked out okay tonight, and I think if we change a couple of things technically, I think we can get even closer to the record.
Yeah, like I said, I'm sure by the time we're old men like them we'll take it down a few seconds.
Yeah, hopefully.
That's all for Sports Central from Revolution 21, but you'll be able to catch me the same time, same place next week. Now at the minute, we're the #1 in the world for endurance track racing and also endurance sprint racing, but what would happen if the endurance team came up against the sprint team? Who would win? I'll leave you with that one.
Now 3 laps to go. Stephen Burke it is on the front. Big effort by Burke. Geraint Thomas on the wheel with Ed Clancy on third. Who has got the better legs over 750 metres? Is it going to be the endurance boys? Is it going to be the sprinters? Geraint Thomas now on the front. These riders, they're world record holders. They're Olympic champions. They're world champions. Geraint Thomas hands over to Ed Clancy. Clancy now accelerates. 1 lap of the track remaining for the big man in the rainbow bats, Ed Clancy, powering all the way. He's into turn 3. He's going to slingshot himself all the way to the finish line. Ed Clancy crosses the line. 39.229 seconds. Jamie Staff now whips it up round the top of the track, hanging very, very high. They get the 3 laps to go this time. The sprint boys drop in. Jamie Staff on the front. Ross Edgar on his wheel with Jason Kenny, the anchor man, in 3rd place. Jamie Staff now puts the power down. He'll swing off coming into the home straight. He leaves it later than the endurance boys. Hands over to Ross Edgar. Good acceleration now by the silver medalist in the Keirin from the Beijing Olympics. Edgar now, and they are behind. They are slightly down on the endurance boys at the moment. Edgar hands over to Jason Kenny. They will not want to be beaten in their event by the sprinters. What can Jason Kenny do? Can he bring it back? Can he bring it home for the sprinters? Can he take it? They're not. They're slower. 40.783 for the sprinters. So the sprint boys are beaten